how many guitar teachers have you had?
Let's see. Well, my first real formal actual guitar teacher was you. You were the first teacher that I had that I would see on a regular basis. Prior to that, it was just a person would show me something from time to time, like a friend at school, my dad, and things like that. You were my first teacher, and I learned a lot because you were teaching me some classical stuff. You were also teaching me some jazz and other things and chord voicings that I'd never used or seen before, and how to build chords and all of that. Learned so much of that from you. And then Stephen Boyke taught me strictly classical.
Yeah.
After that, I went to UT Arlington, transferred there, and my teacher was Charles Postlewaite, who was all about right hand. I didn't really like the way he played. I didn't feel like he played beautifully or musically, but he could teach right hand technique really well, and really knew how to. He taught me to go from what I was doing to what I should be doing, and it worked. And so not only did I learn how to really use the right hand the right way, but I learned how to take a skill that doesn't feel right, that feels awkward, and turn it into something that I could do in my sleep. And so I've applied that to other things. And after Postlewaite, I was in the Air Force band, and I did have a teacher for a little while that was not a guitar teacher at all, but he was a pianist and vibraphonist, but he taught some of us Air Force band guys jazz in general, just musical concepts. And then I had some lessons with a guy who was a jazz guitar teacher, a few lessons, and that was good. I had a few lessons with Ray Flack, the country guitar.
Oh yeah.
The Air Force paid for that. Then I got out of the Air Force and was living in Nashville for a long time. And during that time, I had various people that I just picked things up from. Then I went back in the Air Force after being in Nashville for about 6.5 years. And during that time is when I got married to Rachel, and I went back to school and got my degree in recording industry from Middle Tennessee. And then went back in the Air Force. And when I was back in the Air Force, I had, for instruction, I did have some lessons with Brent Mason. Because again, the Air Force paid for that. I tried to find some other teachers, some big name teachers that I could take lessons from too, but not all of them teach, or they don't necessarily teach at a time when I was available to take lessons. Kind of hard to schedule. So, but by that time, I had advanced to the point where I could kind of learn a lot without having to have a specific teacher, and YouTube was starting to pick up as an actual instructional tool for me. So really it was you, Steve Boyke, Charles Postlewaite, and for a little while, Rick Hayden taught me some stuff. And those were the only regular teachers, and Ed Kozak, that was the vibraphonist, were the only regular teachers I had.